which code runs and when it runs and how many times it will run. So without them, an RPG program would run every statement exactly once, top to bottom. If you do not use these control statements, RPG, if you are writing the 100 lines of the program without using these control structures can be a do loop, do while loop, do until loop, if else condition, select and when conditions, for and end for. If you do not using these control statements in your program, without these, if you are written the 100 lines of the program, so when you call that RPGLE program, that each and every line will be executed. Okay, so that is why the control structures are important. Why it is important? It will, by using these, you can control which code should be run, when it should be run, how many times that specific code or loop should run. Okay, so that is the required. So as I wanted to design some application, there should be some criteria to apply it, right? There is some conditions I should check before executing something. Just take an example, banking example. So I wanted to write a simple program to do the balance inquiry. So you cannot do the balance inquiry or for the closed account or inactive accounts, right? You can do the balance inquiry for only active account. So how can I write a program to get the only active account? There I should mention the one condition: if account status equal to active, then only perform the balance inquiry algorithm. Okay. Here what we are doing, we are controlling, right? We are just saying the system to that block of code needs to be run when. Okay. So there we are explicitly mentioned the one condition. Okay, that is why the control structures are very important in RPG. Okay, so without them, so whatever the statements you written, everything will be executed. So just overview of here control structures, you can see the if, else and if, and so select when is one condition. So this is a make a decision, as I said just now. For example, uh, you wanted to make a transaction for the any beneficiary from your current account, not saving account. Okay, so if you wanted to selection of that type of the account, we can use a select and when it. Okay, we can discuss it each and every control, everything, so for, in detail. Okay, so for iteration, like how many times that loop should be executed, how many times that block of statement should be executed, we can do the do and end, do while end, do or do until end, do and for and end for. So these are for the repeat code. For selection, select and for selection you can use the select and when, or if else, if or else. And loop control, so if you wanted to control the loop, there is some condition is not satisfied, I wanted to come out from that loop, I don't want to be in that loop, or I wanted to come out from that loop, or I wanted to skip that unsatisfied condition recorded inside the loop, then you can go with the iter or leave. Okay, for legacy branded, so like RPG2 and RPG1, so we don't have these control loops like if else or select when, do while, do until if. So they have the go to tag. So but in RPGLE fixed, some cases you can still use the, still you can see go to tag, but so there is many, if you can see RPGLE free format, we will not use go to tag. Okay, in RPGLE free format we use the do while or do until. So these only. Okay, so for legacy code RPG2 are there, if you there you might see that. So go to tag. Okay, the first count loop is the do and end do. So if you can see simple diagram here, so initialize the counter one. First you can just declare the one counter variable and assign that value to one. If counter less than or equal to limit, here what will do, so whatever it is there, so if you just mention the do 5 times, it won't check anything, it execute the 5 times of the code, there is no condition it's checking. So there you have a requirement is simply I wanted to execute this block of the statement 5 times, I wanted to execute it in the 5 times. Okay, so in that case we use the do. So here there is no explicit condition, you will not mention. Here what exactly we are doing, this is a fixed format of the code. If you can see and understand, here we declare the one variable in the d spec. Okay, so we learn the about the specifications, right? F spec for the file declaration, d spec for the variable. What variable? Program variable. Okay, so they here you might get an one doubt that, okay, so I have a file called account master that is having the some fields, I wanted to use the same fields in the program as well. Should I declare those file fields in the program again? No, you don't need to declare the file fields again in the program. But so when you are compiling that program, so you define that file in the F specification and you compile that program. So at the compilation time only, the program can retrieve the information of your file field, that length and data type and field name. You can directly use those file field in the program. You don't need to again explicitly declare the file fields in the program. But here you can just declare the only program variables. Okay, that so this is a program variable, that account number. So here I mentioned the account number is something and do just 5 times and display the account times. Here we are not doing the any condition check. So do 5 means the run loop exactly 5 times. Account number start with incremented by 1. So here you should understand the what are these, what is the eval, what is the do, what is the display, what is end to do. How you can understand, these are the operation codes. Okay, so by using these operation codes only you can write the logic. Okay, so you can write the, by using these operation codes only, so you can write any logic. Okay, just a minute. Okay, Okay, so next, okay, this is a simple without condition. If you wanted to execute it how many times, you can go with the do loop and do while and end do. Here, the start condition is true, then only enter into the loop. Okay, if condition is false, so it's never enter or exit. It's never enter to the loop. Okay, it is exit from that loop. Okay, so here we are explicitly saying that when that block of statement needs to be executed. Okay, here we are controlling the loop with the some condition. Okay, here if you can see, this is a free format code. So this is a fixed format of the code. So here we declare the two variable balance and deduct. If do while balance is greater than 0, then only I can perform the detect, right? If you have some balance, then only I can deduct this amount or some amount from your balance. So do while balance greater than 0, so until your balance is greater than 0, so we can perform, so the loop will be executed here. Okay, the loop is executed here. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తున్నామంటే, సో నీ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది జీరో అయ్యేంత వరకు యూ కెన్ డిటెక్ట్ సమ్ అమౌంట్. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యువర్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇస్ 100, యూ కెన్ డిటెక్ట్ 50 rupees, 30 rupees, but inside the loop you can go and detect something. Balance is greater than 0. Okay, so this is where you can see balance is balance minus detect is the end. Here we are adding the some explicitly, we are mention the some conditions. ఇక్కడ ఒక కండిషన్ అనేది మనం ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్లీ గా మెన్షన్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఓకే, అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద డూ until and end do, here at least it will execute one time. సో డూ వైల్ లో ఏమవుతుందంటే, నీకు ఎప్పుడైతే కండిషన్ ట్రూ ఉంటుందో అప్పుడే ఈ లూప్ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. కండిషన్ అనేది ఫాల్స్ అయితే ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ద లూప్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జిట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద లూప్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ అ సింపుల్ సినారియో వేర్ యూ కెన్ చెక్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ బ్యాలెన్స్ అండ్ డిడక్ట్. ఇఫ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ డూ వైల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది ఒకవేళ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0 అయితేనే దెన్ యూ కెన్ పర్ఫార్మ్ దిస్ లూప్. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0 కాకపోతే యూ డోంట్ నీడ్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్ దిస్ లూప్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ బ్యాలెన్స్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0 అయినంత వరకు, సో గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0 ఉన్నంత వరకు ఈ లూప్ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతూనే ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, సో హియర్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫ్రీ ఫార్మాట్ ఆఫ్ ద కోడ్. అండ్ ఇన్ ద డూ అంటిల్ ఏమవుతుందంటే, కండిషన్ ట్రూ అన్న కానీ ఫాల్స్ అన్న కానీ, సో అట్లీస్ట్ ఇట్ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ వన్ టైం, కనీసం ఒకసారి అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ ఇట్ గో అండ్ చెక్ ద బ్యాలెన్స్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ చూసినట్టయితే బ్యాలెన్స్ అండ్ డిపాజిట్, ఇఫ్ డూ అంటిల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇస్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3000 ఉంటే, సో దెన్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు బ్యాలెన్స్ ప్లస్ డిపాజిట్. ఓకే, సో దెన్ వీఆర్ యాడింగ్ ద సమ్ డిపాజిట్ హియర్. సో గ్రేటర్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఉన్నప్పుడు, సో వీఆర్ యాడింగ్ ద డిపాజిట్. సో డూ వైల్ కి డూ అంటిల్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద కీ డిఫరెన్స్ అంటే, సో డూ వైల్ ఇస్ బిఫోర్ లూప్ బాడీ and minimum executions is 0. It will not execute without satisfying the condition, even it is not execute single time. Okay, so but do until is at least one, but condition checked. ఇక్కడ కండిషన్ ఎప్పుడు చెక్ చేస్తుంది, లూప్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యే ముందే చెక్ చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఆఫ్టర్ ద లూప్, బికాస్ హియర్ అట్లీస్ట్ వన్ టైమ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటింగ్. సో continuous when it will be continuous in the do while, when condition is true then continue, when condition is false it will continue. Okay, exit when condition is false and exit when condition is true. Okay, so deduct the until 0 and deposit until target. So this is the main difference. So do while and do until. And what is a if, else and end if? As you can see here, we are just starting if condition. If it is a false, so we can add the one more condition else if, and if it is a true, so you can execute the some block, and if it is a false you can execute some block, and if it is a true, and we can execute the block. But end of the day, sorry, end of this loop, and you should mention the end if. Okay, if, else or end if. It is not mandatory to use a if, else, end if. You can use a if and end if directly. You can use if, else, if and end if directly, and you can use if, else, and if directly. Okay, so this is a simple example where you can see balance is of 5,000. If balance is greater than or equal to 10,000, it is a high balance amount, else it is a regular account. Okay, the simple condition we are checking. So there is another example you can see it here. Balance is at 25,000. If balance is greater than or equal to 50,000, it is a premium. Else if balance is greater than or equal to 10,000, it is a gold. Else if greater than or equal to 5,000, it is a silver. Else if not satisfying any of this condition, it is a basic. Okay. So select and when also, here also you can do the selection. The select when account type is this, account type is this, account type is this. If it is true, then the saving account. If it is a true, if it is a true, if it is a true. Okay, but end of the block should be NSL. So here also you can see simple example. Account type is yes. I'm just assigned in the select criteria. I wanted to know what exactly meaning of the yes. If account type is called yes, it is the saving account. When CA, it is a current account, and FD is a fixed deposit. And other cases, it is the unknown type. Okay. So likewise, what is the difference between the if and select? Because both the cases we are checking the multiple conditions. So if and else if when conditions are complex expressions, range checks, multi-field conditions, but each and every condition you are checking the different field. Okay, so if you are here, else balance only, right? So each and every condition, so if you wanted to validate against with the different field, multi-field condition, if and else if is a better option, and select only one variable against with the different specific values. Here account type is only one variable, but we are checking with the different values, whether it is yes, EA, FD, right? So it is a much cleaner. Okay, and for and end for modern count loop, and for is the start to end. This is and execute the loop body, and end for is continue, and this is a for and end for is a just, it is a used to for example here you can see 5001 to 5005 I wanted to execute it, it will be executed. So you don't need to mention anything. So do is the fixed legacy format, manual increment is required, and for you don't need to increment manually, so it will be taken care of that. If you wanted to mention by 2 or something, it will be incremented by the by 2. Okay, so these are the iter. What is the iter? For example, you have in the loop do while loop, okay, or do loop, it is keep on executing, but if there is any unsatisfied condition is met, I wanted to skip that specific record. Okay, here you can see loop start, so code before iter, code before iter what happened. So iter conditions, if iter condition is true, the skip that, okay, skip that specific record and jump back to the loop condition. If it is a false, code after iter point, the loop continues. For example, so there is a one specific account, there is a 5 accounts are there, and out of 5 accounts, one account is a inactive. So your logic should be, so you have to perform, you have to read all 5 accounts in the loop. You don't know which account is inactive. If any of an account is inactive, I don't want to process, I don't want to execute any other operations inside that loop. So you can use a iter operation, iter conditions. Okay, as you can see here, a simple logic here. You have a balance and deduct and counter here. So do while counter less than or equal to 10. If counter is less than 0, iter. Okay, deduct is less than 0. If deduct is less than 0, it is a iter. You don't need to perform any these operations. It directly go to the end do. If deduct is not less than 0, then it perform all these operations. Okay, so that is a iter statement here. So iter means you can skip any of record inside the loop. Leave means it's completely out of the loop. The same condition if you can use, and if you explicitly mention the leave, so it is completely out of the loop. Okay, so it will not execute any of these statements. It's completely out of the loop. So here go to tag is a legacy fixed format only. So here we can control by using the go to tag. If you can see simple example here. So balance is this one. If balance is this, go to low bal. Earlier we used to use the do while something, and if it is a balance too, so we use the controlled structure, right? The control loops. And now the go to tag is the, it is related to old legacy system. So these are the different control structures. You can see do and do while and do until and do, if else and if select and for iter leave and go to tag. Okay, it is a legacy only, and this is also you can use for legacy. But here the minimum runs, what is a one run. Okay, if else is a one or two, based on the criteria, it can be run as a zero, it can be run at least one time. So when the conditions will be checked, it is a decision, it is a condition checked before and here itself only after. Okay, so these are the some simple interview questions: what iter do, what leave to execute, and what would be use of select, and when would you use a select, and instead of if else statement, use a select when checking the one variable against with the multiple specific values, and it is a cleaner and more readable long chain. Okay, so why should go to not used in the new RPG, and go to create the unstructured sophisticated code and difficult to read. Okay, what is the mandatory replacement? Okay, so work mbr pdm, I'm going here. So this is our things, right? So I wanted to create a one source physical file which I can use for only loops. Okay, crt srcpf f4. So loops concept I'm just mentioning. So test 00 only I'm using, test 001 and 112 I'm using. Okay, and so I wanted to go there, work mbr pdm. How you can go here, instead of this you can mention loops. And okay, here what is the first thing, I wanted to write a program for the do loop. Okay, so pgm do and RPGLE. Okay, so first we'll write in the fixed format. So I tell you the specs first. IPH. Okay, this is a H spec where you can mention the keywords. What are the keywords you can mention? If you take F1, control specification and compile options here you can mention. Okay, so next, if I wanted to F spec IPF enter. So this is a F spec where you can mention the file name, what is the file type, file designations. So this F spec we can learn completely when we are discussing about the file operations like input operations, update operation. That time you can get to know about the each and every and what should be mentioned in this and here and here and here, what exactly meaning of that. But how we can use a F specification? IPF. So next, D spec IPD enter. This is a variable declarations. Here you have to mention the name, declaration type, whether it is a S means a standalone variable, and if you mention the DS, that is the data structures, and length, what is the length of it here, and what is the data type, how many decimal positions. Okay, so next, if you can see IPC, this is the operation code. What is the operation code you can use? You must learn about all these operation codes. Okay, you can see these are the many operation codes. So by using these only we can write the program logic. Okay, so by using these only we can write the logics. So these operation codes are very important to learn. Okay, so I think it is mostly 83 operation codes are there, you can use that. Okay, so in the factor 2 you can mention the based on the operation codes, either you can use the factor 1, either you can use the factor 2, sometimes you can use the factor 1 factor 2 both, sometimes we can use the factor 1 factor 2 result field as well. Okay, how I get to know that which operation code is required the factor 1, which operation code is required the factor 2, and which operation code is required the factor 1 factor 2 result? By doing the answer only you can understand. Okay, and what is the length and decimal? So while here itself we can define the, and you can declare that specific field if you wanted to. So you can perform the calculation, and at the same time you can also declare that field in the C spec as well. Okay, so this is another way to declaration. So next, IPO means it is a O spec. So here you can see the prompt type, and here you can give the file name. So this is the O spec. And what is the P spec? IPP, I think this is a prototype definitions. So you can mention the field name and all those things in the, this is a prototype related. So this is how you can declare the, you can use the specifications. This is how you can do that. Okay, so now I wanted to write a simple logic for the do loop. Okay, so how you can write the do loop? First, I wanted to declare the one variable, and by using that variable I wanted to write the one do loop. Okay, for declaring the variable, which spec I need to use? IPD means the D spec. Okay, here I am using the account number as a one variable, and this is a, you have to explicitly mention yes for the standalone variable. So here I am just giving the length is some 5, tab 5p, or you can give the p, or you can also give the yes, there is no issues. Okay, enter. So I declare the one variable here. So now I want, if I mention the star it here, star in this position, this is a column 7 position, and if you mention the star it here, it is a commented line. Okay, this is a comment line. So now IPC I wanted to do, because I wanted to write the logic in the C spec. So here I wanted to do the 5 times. Okay, I don't want to check any logic, and here I wanted to first to display. So display operation code will help us to display the what is the value there in that specific field. Okay, in this variable what is the value is there, I wanted to see, I can use a display operation code, enter. So next I wanted to iterate this value, because so now at the first time that account number may be 0, and the one loop is executed, it should become as a 1, and next loop it should become as a 2, and next loop it should be 3. Okay, like that if you wanted to iterate it. So we have a eval operation code. Eval operation code basically used to assign the value from one variable to another variable. Eval operation can help if the both the data types should be equal. Okay, so that is why you can see ACCT number, I'm just iterating ACCT number equal to ACCT number plus 1. Okay, enter. Okay, number plus 1. Eval is basically, here we are assigning this value to this variable. Okay, eval is basically assign the variable, display the value in the variable. Okay, these are the some meaning. So you open the loop do, right? I wanted to close that loop. How we can close? End do. End do is the closing the loop. End do. Okay, so now you return the program, and you also should tell, okay, this is my last statement, the program is ended. Okay, so I don't have any other statements to write, so these are the only 6 lines of the program. So how we can convey that, how the compiler knows, so this is the end of the statement in the program. So end of the statement in the program, you should use eval star inl is equal to star on. Okay, this is a mandatory. If you do not mention this end of the statement, that star inl are equal star on, so you will get the compilation error. So this is a simple code related to do. What exactly we are doing here, we are just displaying the account 5 times, we are executing the account 5 times. Okay, what I can do, I can just file it. I'm compiling, it is a compile. So when you call this program, the first time it is 0, second time 1 2, it is executed the 4 times, right? This is a 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. Now it is the 5th time. Now if you can see, it is out of the loop. Okay, it is executed in the 5 times. So the do loop will not check any condition, it's blindly execute 5 times. So what is a do while? If I copy this and simply mention, I can also tell you other example related to do while. Here instead of do, what I mentioned, do while, here account number, right? Do while account number less than or equal to 5. Okay, account number less than or equal to 5. So what is the account number value? Okay, first I will display the account number value before starting the loop. Okay, so sorry, if you wanted to move the statement, I've written the statement, I wanted to copy and I wanted to paste it in after 2. You can see, and you can enter a enter. Okay, this is the display. So here I mentioned before loop start, I just explicitly mentioned to understand. So I copy it here and I paste it after here. So here loop start, loop str start, I can mention it, enter. And display is a copy to better understanding, here loop continue, so that while you're calling you can understand better. Okay, loop continue, this one. So loop start is the this one. Okay, now what will happen? So before loop start, enter. So when you call this when you compile it and when you call this program, so this is a 0. Okay, this is a before loop start, that first initial value is 0. Now do while, what we mentioned, it is a do while less than or equal to 5. Okay, less than or equal to 5. So now it will become the 1. 1 is less than or equal to 5, 2 also less than or equal to 5, 3 also less than or equal to 5, 4 also less than or equal to 5, and 5 also less than or equal to 5, and after that it is disconnected. So to show you that, I wanted to show it in the debug mode, but how we can do the debug, that I will tell you later. So simply in the debug mode, strdbg, to into the debug mode, first you have to compile the source in the star source, then only you can able to see the source in the debug mode. Okay, I compiled as a star source. Now what I will do, strdbg, here I mention the program name, here I mention the star s, and this also star s, enter. I'm just adding the breakpoint 1 and F10. So you can call this program. So see, F10. So this is what is the first value here? 0. Initial value, that third statement is executed 0. Here what is the account number value? If you can see, account number is 0. Okay, it is a 0 value. Since condition is satisfied, because account number is less than or equal to 5, then it is get into the loop. Okay, this is a display, and it is account number is equal to account number plus 1. Here you can see F11 0 plus 1. It will become the 1, and it is assigning the value to here. Now account number is the 1. Okay, now account number is 1 here. Okay, account number is 1. Like that, how many times the loop will be executed? This time 1. 1 less than or equal to 5, it is a satisfied, it is executed. Okay, so now this one 2. Okay, so account number, this 2 is less than or equal to 5, satisfied and executing. And this is a 3, satisfied and executing. This is a 5, satisfied and executing. And this is a 5th time, it is satisfied and executing. So now this is a value 6. 6 is not less than or equal to 5, it is not satisfied, then it is out of the loop. Okay, so this is how it will be executed. The same way this is also executed. If you can 3 and copy, so do until. So if you can go and see do until, I can open the option 2. Instead of do while, what I will do, I'll mention the do until. Okay. So in the do until, what will happen? So here we can learn. This is a simple example. We'll try with other example as well. Okay. See in the debug mode to understand what is the difference between the do while and do until. Okay. So now I wanted to put a debug mode and strdbg control V enter. So this is also star s and here also star s enter. So BR1, sorry, BR means I'm just adding the breakpoint to this first line. So don't worry, I'll tell you this debugging process very clearly later. Okay. For now, I'm just showing how it is executed. Now the first value is 0. Even though condition is not satisfied, so it is satisfying, but it will be executed at least one time. Okay, at least one time. So now you can see the one time it is executed. So now it is a condition is satisfied. Okay. So this do until loop will execute when the condition is false. So that is only difference. In the do while loop, what happened? The one less than or equal to 5. Okay, this is a satisfied, that is a true condition. So it is executing into the loop. And do until 1 less than or equal to 5, condition is already satisfied. Why I need to execute the loop again? So it is not execute the loop if condition is true. It execute the loop when condition is false only. Okay. Hope you guys understand the difference between the do while and do until. So this is simple examples. Sorry, you have to do the ndbj one. So next, I will take some other examples. So F6 PGM do while one. Okay, and this is the RPGLE only. Enter. Here, what I'm going to do, I'll take balance and deduct field, and based on that, I wanted to execute the some loop. Okay, so here I'm taking the 11p0 11p. Here is the 2. Enter. So the same way, I wanted to repeat this variable. You can take RP and enter. It will come instead of balance. You can do deduct. Okay, DUCT. So deduct. It is also 11p2. So now I wanted to assign the some values. Okay, so these are the 11p2, right? P means what? It is a numeric value. For assigning the value, which operation code we use? Eval operation code. For balance equal to, I wanted to assign the 5000.00, and for other thing eval this one. So DUCT. For deduct, I wanted to use 1000.00. Okay, so these are the things. Now I wanted to test do while separate whenever the balance amount is greater than 0, then only I can detect some value. Okay, ఎప్పుడైతే నా అకౌంట్లో సమ్ ఒక బ్యాలెన్స్ ఉంటుందో, then only I can perform the deduct operation. Okay, just display the balance. So I am just displaying the balance, and here what I am doing, eval. So I am removing the balance is equal to balance minus what is the deduct amount. Okay, so now you can do the end do. Okay, so now you can do the eval. This is the last statement, star INLR equal to star on. Okay, so we can also try same in the free format as well, so that you can better understand. File it. So this is a compile it. What is the 30 errors? You can see the balance and this spelling mistake, deduct. So deduct. Just you can file it and compile it. So what is the logic here? My balance is 5000 and deduct is 1000. ఎప్పుడైతే బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇస్ ఒకవేళ 5000 అయ్యింది, బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0 మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఇస్ 5000. సో కనుక ఈ లూప్లోకి వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఈ లూప్లోకి వచ్చి ఫస్ట్ ఏమవుతుంది? బ్యాలెన్స్ ఈక్వల్ టు బ్యాలెన్స్ మైనస్ డిడక్ట్. ఒక 1000 రూపీస్ అనేది 5000 లోకి వెళ్ళి డిడక్ట్ అవుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఈ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఎంత? 4000. మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ లూప్ పోయి చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. ఓకే, 4000 స్టిల్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0. మళ్ళీ ఏం చేస్తుంది? 4000 మైనస్ 1000 3000 అవుతుంది. సో మళ్ళీ పోయి చెక్ చేసినప్పుడు 3000 ఇస్ స్టిల్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 0. సో 3000 మైనస్ 1000 ఏమవుతుంది? 2000 అవుతుంది. సో లైక్ దట్ ఇట్ విల్ దిస్ లూప్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ అంటిల్ ద బ్యాలెన్స్ బికమ్ 0. ఓకే, నీ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది 0 అయిందాక దిస్ లూప్ అనేది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లెట్స్ కాల్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. సి ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇట్ ఈస్ సో 50,000 I given 50,000 అంటే లూప్ అనే ఛాన్స్ రన్ అయితే కనుక ఐ ఇంక్రీజ్ 11p2 why it is a 50. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ మనకి డెసిబల్ పొజిషన్స్ అనేది చూపించదు కనుక, సో ఇక్కడ డెసిబల్ పొజిషన్స్ అనేది కరెక్ట్గా చూపించదు కనుక లెట్స్ అజ్యూమ్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద డెసిబల్ పొజిషన్స్ ఓన్లీ. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ 4000 ఓన్లీ, అండ్ 3 and 2 and 1000 it will become the 0. It is end of the loop. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ ఇట్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. సో మనం ఒకవేళ ఇదే లాజిక్ని నేను ఫ్రీ ఫార్మాట్లో రాయాలనుకుంటే pgm do until do while 2 and rpgle. సో వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇన్ ద ఫ్రీ ఫార్మాట్లో మనము, సో ఐ జస్ట్ రిపీట్ ద సమ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇయర్, జస్ట్ rp20 అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఏం పెట్టొచ్చు అంటే నువ్వు ఫ్రీ అని పెట్టొచ్చు. ఓకే, దెన్ ఇట్స్ టెల్ ద కంపైలర్ టు ఇట్ ఇస్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఫ్రీ ఫార్మాట్ కోడ్. ఓకే, సో నౌ మనం ఇక్కడ ఏం చేయాలి? వేరియబుల్ డిక్లరేషన్, DCLES అనేది వేరియబుల్ డిక్లరేషన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈస్ అ వేరియబుల్ నేమ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఈస్ మై వేరియబుల్ నేమ్, అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద టైప్? PACKED ప్యాక్డ్. ఓకే, ప్యాక్డ్, and what is the length? 11:2. Okay, no colon. So the same way I have a detector field as well. Instead of balance, DUCT deduct as well. Okay, it is a packed only. This is a variable declaration. So now you can assign the balance equal to, I'm just doing the again same thing. So 5000, and for deduct also DUCT. For deduct also I am assigning some 1000 balance. So semicolon is mandatory. So here I'm writing the logic. Okay, so do while balance greater than 0. Okay, then what I need to do, you can just first to display the balance. Next, what else you can do? Once it is display the balance, so balance is equal to balance minus DUCT deduct చేయాలి. Okay, so then I can do the end do. ఫ్రీ ఫార్మాట్లో మనం ఎలాంటి స్పెక్స్ యూజ్ చేయట్లేదు. వీఆర్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ ద eval as well. Okay, for assigning we are directly using the equal symbol. We are not using the eval operation code. Okay, in the free format there is no need to use the eval operation code. You can directly assign the value by using equal symbol. So this is a simple free format code. There is no specific driven spec driven program. So we remove the specs with these things. Okay, these are the syntax to declare the variable, and the C spec you can just write it. Okay, so I am going to file it and so compile it. So what is the 30 error we got? Deduct DUCT deduct DUCT deduct. So just I'll explain you that errors as well. Okay, here also you can see the same output. This is in the free format. Okay, that is in the fixed format. So now we can do same thing for the do until. Okay, do until lo manam em chedamante, so we'll take same example. I'm just taking the same example. Instead of do while I'm mentioning the do until one. So here I'm going and change this to, so if balance is 0, right, and if balance is, I mentioned the some value less than or equal to 3000 something I'm mentioning. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, డూ అంటిల్ అంటే ఏంది, ఎప్పుడైతే కండిషన్ అనేది ట్రూ అవుతుందో, కండిషన్ ట్రూ అయినప్పుడు ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, కండిషన్ ఎప్పుడు ట్రూ అవుతుంది, ఇది నీ బ్యాలెన్స్ అమౌంట్ అనేది లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3000, లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3000 ఉంటే ఇది ట్రూ అన్నట్లు. అంటే ఫస్ట్ టైం బ్యాలెన్స్ ఏముంది 5000 ఉంది, ఈ లూప్లోకి వస్తుంది, ఇది 4000 అవుతుంది. సో 4000 అంటే ఈ 4000 అనేది 3000 కన్నా గ్రేటరే కదా. సో కండిషన్ అనేది సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుంది కనుక అది ఏమవుతుంది, కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫై అయింది కనుక ఇది ఒకటేసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో ఆర్ ఎల్స్ వాట్ యూ కెన్ డూ, ఇట్ ఈస్ లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3000, రైట్, లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఆర్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇస్ లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3000 పెడదాం మనం, గ్రేటర్ దెన్ కాకుండా 3000. ఇప్పుడు ఈ కండిషన్ ఎప్పుడు సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుంది, లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 5000 పెట్టినాం అనుకో, ఫస్ట్ టైం ఈ కండిషన్ అనేది ఏమవుతుంది, ట్రూ అవుతుంది, ఈక్వల్ అవుతుంది. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి బ్యాలెన్స్ మైనస్ 4000 అనేది లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఏమవుతుంది, ఇది కండిషన్ అనేది ఇంకా ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది కనుక, సో అప్పుడు లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 4000 అనేది లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 5000 అవుతుంది, ఇట్స్ అగైన్ ట్రూ. ఓకే, దెన్ ఇట్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద లూప్. ఓకే, సో ఐదర్ యూ కెన్ యూజ్ అని, ఎప్పుడైతే కండిషన్ అనేది ట్రూ అవుతుందో ఇది అనేది ఈ లూప్లో నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇట్ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ వెన్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ ఫాల్స్. ఓకే, సో లెట్స్ సీ హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఇట్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. ఐ కెన్ జస్ట్ ఫైల్ ఇట్ and do until, right, just compile it and call the program. You got the 5000 only, it will not execute anything. Okay, instead of 3000, if I mention 5000 ఏమైతుంది, so 5000 అయినప్పుడు so it will execute because first time it is a 5000, next time it become the 4000 greater than or equal to 5000, it is a false statement కనుక 4000 వస్తుంది, 3000 వస్తుంది, 2000 వస్తుంది, it will execute unlimited. Okay, it is execute as infinity times. Okay, so you can get the value like this only until unless that value is become satisfied. Okay, here, so for example I wanted to take a tran id, anything you can take tran id or something. Okay, so here it is a standalone variable only, and this is a transaction id is something 5p0, so you can mention anything 5p0, or you can do the 5s0 as well. You can use p or 0. Okay, so now I am assigning this value for assign eval operation. So here tran id is equal to something, I am assigning the 5001. Okay, you can assign it, if you are not assigning also, that is fine. Okay, here I am using the for tran id equal to, I'm just mentioning 5001 to the transaction 5001 to 5005 I wanted to see. Okay, and then display, so display transaction id tran id, and then you can use the end for, I just mentioned the end for. Next we have to explicitly mention the last statement, eval star nlr is equal to star on. Okay, so ఇక్కడ you don't need to define the this అనమాట. సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఏది మనం ఇటరేషన్ చేయట్లేదు, అంటే ఇంతకుముందు కండిషన్స్లో మనం ఇటరేషన్ చేస్తాం. మీరు ఒకవేళ డూ వైల్ లూప్ తీసుకున్నా కానీ, సో డూ వైల్ లూప్ తీసుకున్నా కానీ మనం ఇక్కడ సమ్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ అంటే ఇటరేషన్ అనేది చేస్తున్నాం, ప్లస్ చేయడమో మైనస్ చేయడమో ఏదో ఒకటి చేస్తున్నాం. సో వితౌట్ ఇటరేషన్ దాట్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంటెడ్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్ ద ఫర్ లూప్ is the best option. Just compile it, you can see from 5001 2 3 4 we are without adding that it's got it till 5005. Okay, the transaction 5005 till we got that now. So like that for loop is helpful. So you can also write the for loop in the free format. I can just show you how we can write it. So F6 you can take PGM F1 and here RPGLE only, enter. Here you can star free, enter. Here you can mention I, enter. Here you can mention RP10, I just mentioning. Okay, so here what I can do, so this is I just declare the variable and for transaction id to here and display transaction and end. Okay, you don't need to do anything, you can just file it, compile it, it will give the same result. Okay, it will give the same result. This is a for and end for. Okay, if you wanted to check with the simple example, you can take this one only, the pgm for 2. I'll explain you this. ఇక్కడ సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఎట్లా చేయొచ్చు అంటే, ఇక్కడ డూ ఉంది కదా, డూ బదులు ఫర్ పెట్టు. ఫర్ ఇక్కడ ఏముంది, అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ఉంది కనుక ఇక్కడ వేరియబుల్ యూజ్ చేయాలి, అకౌంట్ నెంబర్, సో 1 to 10 అని పెడదాం. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఇటరేషన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు ఫర్కి, సో దట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ అడ్వాంటేజెస్. ఓకే, అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 1 to 10 అని పెట్టాం మనం. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ అనేది 1 to 10 వరకు మనం కంటిన్యూస్గా ఇక్కడ ఎండ్ ఫర్ పెట్టాలి. ఎండ్ కాదు, ఎండ్ ఫర్ బెటర్సీ. సో ఇక్కడ ఫైల్ చేసేసి నేను 14తో కంపైల్ చేస్తే మీకు అకౌంట్ నెంబర్ 1 2 2 3 4 ఇట్లా 10 వరకు వచ్చేస్తుంది 1 by 1 వితౌట్ ఇటరేషన్. నాకు ఇటరేషన్ బై 2 కావాలి. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ బై 2 పెట్టినాం అనుకో, యూ కెన్ టైప్ బై 2 అండ్ జస్ట్ ఫైల్ ఇట్ అండ్ కంపైల్ ఇట్. కంపైల్ చేసేసి కాల్ చేసినప్పుడు 1 తర్వాత ఏమొస్తుంది, 3 వస్తుంది, తర్వాత 5 వస్తుంది, తర్వాత 7 వస్తుంది, తర్వాత 9 వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ అనదర్ సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ ద ఫర్ లూప్.